whenever you're ready, could you introduce yourself?
My trail name is Boston Chris. It's, you know, if you do the AT, everybody's got a trail name. Nobody goes by their real names for whatever reason that happens to be. I actually hike with all kinds of people, and I don't know probably any of their real names, you know, but I probably know at least 50 people from the trail that I just know the trail, like Handsome or Moonshine was one guy, Deadhead, Dead Legs, Many Homes, you know, and I'm Boston Chris with my trail, the accents. You know, it's sort of, you kind of get it, somebody anoints you, you don't really give it to yourself. Well, some people do, but usually it's, you know, somebody kind of picks your name for you and you get stuck with it. Although there was a guy named Assface, apparently. He was hiking with some friends of his, and apparently, you know, they got off the trail, or they all quit, and he continued going. You know, it's 2,185 miles, I think, currently. So it's a long distance, you know, and you're not just walking through the woods, you're up and down mountains all day. But apparently his friends got off the trail, and he was still going around introducing himself as Assface to people he met, until a friend of mine goes, you know, dude, you don't actually have to keep that trail name. Nobody's forcing you to do this. You can stop introducing yourself as Assface now. And it's kind of an interesting aside, but yeah, I've been going since, I guess, the end of April until about now. I took like 2 weeks off when I finished Katahdin and I came back down south. I stopped in Boston. I stopped for 2 weeks. So other than that, I've been in the woods the entire time, basically. So I'm sure I smell right about now. Although I did get a shower yesterday, probably the first time in like 10 days, which is always a good thing.
Okay, all right, here we go. So, why do you hike?
You know, I had nothing better to do at the time.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I just, you know, I like hiking in the woods. I enjoy being in nature in the woods and everything, but I had really no desire to do the AT. I was actually just gonna do the 100-mile wilderness in Maine, which is 100 miles, like the most remote part of the AT. And then I just had more time than I thought I was going to have suddenly, you know, so I was out of work. So suddenly I had all kinds of time, and then I was like, well, maybe I'll just go down to Harper's Ferry and I'll go back to Massachusetts, which is kind of like 700 miles. And then I just kept going and going. And then once you get through New Hampshire and Maine, where the White Mountains are, and Mahoosic Armagnac, it's really difficult in Maine and New Hampshire. So they say it's like 80% of the effort, 20% of the different distance. So once you get through that, it's like, well, I might as well just go finish it all.
So where's your favorite place to hike?
The White Mountains in New Hampshire were amazing. Franconia Ridge was spectacular, awesome, but really difficult. It's extremely rocky, and it's really high, and it's really steep parts of it, so it's pretty rugged, but that's probably the most beautiful part, although the Smokies were nice until it started snowing on me, and then it kind of got a little ugly.
On what, like, in the future, do you see yourself growing up in, like, Kilimanjaro or Everest, or, like, where do you see yourself going with this?
Maybe New Zealand or something. That would be nice. There's a new trail there called Te Aurora, which travels over both islands. They just opened it like a year or two ago, and it covers I think it's like 1,500 miles, but it goes both islands. But you know, it's where they filmed Lord of the Rings, so I'm sure it looks pretty spectacular there. You know, that was the setting for that. So yeah, they've got all the nice views or vistas or whatever. You get beach, you get, you know, plus there's nothing there that'll kill you. There's like nothing poisonous on the island. You know, there's no snakes that are poisonous. There's no poisonous insects. There's nothing that kills people. So it's nice and safe. And Te Aurora would be nice. Or El Camino in Spain. The Way. You ever see the movie The Way with Martin Sheen? Well, it was a recent movie. It just came out probably within the last 5 years or so. Yeah, it's about him hiking the El Camino, which is kind of a pilgrimage, a Christian holy pilgrimage that goes through France down to Spain, where I can't remember what's buried there. It was like St. John is buried there or something at the church where you end up. But it's fairly easy hiking, and there are hostels. You don't have to like pitch a tent every night. You can go stay in a hostel and it's cheap. So that would be nice. Plus, you get to go to Europe. So.
After doing the whole trek, like what did you take away from it the most? Like,
oh man, how difficult it was. I really didn't know it was going to be that hard. You know, I mean, if you're walking like 20 miles a day plus, you know. I think my biggest day was like 27 miles, which is actually not that much. You know, I know people who do 45 in a day, just insane. And I mean, it's not flat ground. You're on rocks, and you're going up, you know, 3,000 foot climbs, and it's insane. You know, it's extremely hard. So you're not just out there sauntering around in the woods, picking flowers.
Strenuousness too.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And then you get to camp, you got to go get water, you got to pick your tent, you got to, you know what I mean? So even at the end of the day, after you hike 10 hours, you still got, you got to cook food, you got to get off the trail every 3-4 days to get more food, and you stop every 4 days or so. Every 3 or 4 days, you hitchhike into town, or you hopefully go by a store, because the trail people sometimes go right through towns. So once you get to a town, you'd resupply and buy more food, basically. So, you'd live off ramen and stuff like that. Pop-Tarts, ramen, and no rice sides, probably almost all I subsisted off of. Nothing really good, sadly. But like I said, you're not out there that long. The longest you're out in the woods is only like 5 or 6 days before you see civilization again. So it's not, it's not real. It's the 100-mile wilderness in Maine is the most remote part, and that, if you're a newbie, it might take you 10 days, but if you've been hiking 1,000 miles, you've got to get it out in 5 or so.
My question is, was it worth it?
It's fantastic. What makes it worth it is the people you meet. Is a very communal experience. It's very social. You actually think you're going to go out there and you're going to be in the middle of the woods with nobody around. It's not like that at all. There's people everywhere. You hook up at shelters at night or campgrounds, and you instantly form a bond with everybody on the trail. I think if you want to restore your faith in humanity, seriously, go hike the 18. You wouldn't believe how generous and nice and kind people are. It's unbelievable. I had no idea that it was going to be like that until I actually started doing it, and that's why I finished. That really made me want to continue doing it for 6 months. Was just the opportunity to hang out with some of these people, just some of the nicest, coolest, smartest people I've ever met in my life.